Welcome to Shh, Don't Tell Mum.
My name is Barney.
And I'm Jamie.
And this is the #1 parenting podcast in the world.
Don't Google that.
You go so extra on the don't Google.
It's my moment, babe.
Don't Google that. Okay, the reason why we've just changed the name on you so quickly.
It's the same. They probably wouldn't even realise.
I mean, yeah, we've said Shh, Don't Tell Mum because basically Jamie uploaded the podcast, our first episode 2 weeks ago, onto Apple Podcasts, onto Spotify, and found out that there's about 20 other podcasts called Don't Tell Mum.
So we're using Anchor as a platform to release the podcast. And I'm the podcast girl, as people call in the sound. I produce a lot of podcasts. And
who calls you the podcast girl? Did you just make that up? I'm the podcast girl everyone knows.
Anyway, can I just say...
Self-proclaimed.
When searching for the first episode, really excited as everyone is when you upload something special that you've been working on, could we find the fucking episode?
Pound in the jar!
Anyway, so I was looking and I went, but there's like 50 Don't Tell Mums. And he went, I checked it at Christmas time. How have these people all caught onto our name? Da, da, da. And
to be fair, to back my corner a little bit, 2 of them that were like the most recent ones had sprouted up since January. So literally in the last month.
And we'd been talking about doing this podcast since early December.
I think even earlier than that. Maybe like last year in September.
Yeah, it was
last
earlier.
Year in September, I think.
So, funnily enough, when we released it, I went, we've got to change the name. And we would have had to rebrand everything if we completely changed it to,
The Unplanned Podcast with Matt and Abby. They're cool.
They're cool. If you are looking for a very, very good family podcast. And she just announced she's pregnant again after 4 months of having her first.
The gossip has you've just ruined the surprise for people who are going to go and check them out.
No,
now.
They've announced it on all their socials.
I know, but even
anyway,
we're going to get.
If you are listening, Matt and Abby, I adore you both. Anyway, so yeah, we just had to. I said, listen, I don't want to rebrand everything and reproduce everything. Let's just keep the name. And funnily enough, on the VO, the idents.
VO is voiceover.
Or the trailer or the sound bite of Don't Tell Mum. We go, shh, don't tell Mum. And then we thought, well, let's just add the shush at the beginning. And now you can type in shush, 3 H's and 3 dots, remember, and it will come up.
So welcome to Shh, Don't Tell Mum. There you go. We're going to end up calling this Shh, Don't Tell Mum. It's going to end up tongue-twisting. Anyway, I'm going to kick things off today. What's new with Rocket? Tell the people at home what's new with Rocket at the moment. What's the latest in the last week?
So he obviously started nursery and it kind of got off to a rough start.
Today's his second full day.
Yeah. So he goes twice a week and honestly, he was the happiest little man after Monday when we picked him up. But it's a long day for him. So he goes in at like 7:30 and then he finishes at 6:30. So that's a long...
His bedtime's at 7.
I know. But he came home, he was smiling, and then we were like, you're so happy, let's all have a family bath. And we had a family bath.
We had a family bath. It was really cute. I think it's the first time we've ever done that as well, isn't it?
Yeah, and he loved it, didn't he?
He did. We just sat in the bath with him and everyone was having a great time. Splish, splash, I was taking a bath. Do-do-do, all up on a Saturday night. That's our bath time song.
Yeah, so he was loving it. And it was actually so nice to see him so happy, and he's taken to it really, really well. They send you pictures on this portal and he's been like learning how to like bang, and he started banging on the little table, but it was like this round table, and all the kids like started looking at him and then joining in. So I was like, yes, band member.
He's going to be a drummer when he's older, for sure.
I hope I would get him into drumming 100%.
Yeah, I would like it. We've got a soundproof room, so that's fortunate.
I mean, I don't think this room's even big enough for a drum kit.
Yeah,
but
we'd have to have an electric drum kit, one of those little ones. I like them anyway. They're quite cool.
Yeah.
I'd want to go on that. You know when parents get their kids toys and they're like, I secretly want to play that, or I secretly want to use that toy.
I can't wait till he's at the age where, when the soft play, the climbing frames and stuff.
Yeah.
I can't wait to go into one of those.
We're going to have climbing frames in our garden?
No, not at home. You go to the soft play place. There used to be places called like Monkey Business and had the big slides.
Tiger Eye was one of them as well, wasn't it?
With ball pits, and they were my favourite things to do. When he is at that age, I will come into my own as a parent.
I think you're going to come into your own as a parent when he's a toddler, for sure, because you're... I was going to say, because you're fun. Does that mean I'm boring?
You are the more...
Stern?
I wouldn't say so, because you are quite eccentric.
I'm fun.
But
I just think you're like kid fun.
I'm great with toddlers. Like with Jessie, I'm really, really good with that. Our nephew.
My nephew, yeah.
like I can distract him for hours. I sometimes feel like I am part of the kid crew.
Yeah, and they love you for it, which is great. They're
And
like,
funnily-
Auntie Jamie!
And funnily enough, even like our neighbours round the corners, they'll like knock on the door, be like, "Can Jamie come out and play?" I'm 34, guys. I'm a middle-aged woman, and the kids still want me to go out and play.
Wow. I mean, Rocket is really close to walking, and we're really excited to see how he progresses with that and when it's going to happen, because it's his first birthday in like a week. Imagine he starts walking on his birthday.
Oh my god,
That would just be very cool.
We're doing safari for his birthday.
Yeah, he's going to go to a nature reserve, and we're going to walk around and have a great old time.
Actually, you guys will probably see some footage before this
on
even
YouTube.
comes out,
Yeah.
because this comes out the week that Port Lymphy episode will come out. Yeah.
Ooh, schnazzles.
Which will be really, really exciting. But yeah, so we're very ecstatic that he's feeling better. He's loving nursery. You're saying he's doing this thing with his mouth at the moment. He's found a new sound.
He's like tensing. I think, when kids figure out their new sound, or figure out that they can create a new sound, and they become a bit obsessed with it. In the evenings, he's going, and at first thought he was poeing, and then when I later just kind of analysed him as he was pottering around the living room, I just saw him randomly going, so I think he's just figured out that he can make that noise, and that's his new thing. Madam, TikTok turn-offs. What's your TikTok turn-off for this week? TikTok turn-off. It's quite hard saying that
TikTok
quickly.
turn off.
Go.
TikTok turn off. TikTok turn off. Okay, guys, we're all gonna bring it up on the pod. We have a announcement to make, a big announcement, and I'm going to break it out here. I'm not pregnant for the 50th time. This links very well with TikTok turn-offs. How many times am I saying on TikTok that I'm not pregnant, and everybody keeps replying to all the comments being like, she definitely is pregnant.
You keep dangling the carrot, though. You're baiting people a little bit with your content.
Not.
With your content, you're like doing weird dances to like, I'm pregnant, but am I pregnant? Am I not pregnant? Look at my belly.
No, I'm basically saying, no, I'm not pregnant. But that's the pregnant track. If she a baby mom, go ahead. Like, that track is fun. But I just basically replied to somebody's comment because they're always like, pregnant, she's definitely pregnant. So that's a turn off. When I say I'm not pregnant, just stop typing that I'm pregnant. I'll tell you if I'm pregnant.
On TikTok as a platform, the irritating thing I find is that your followers, the people who actually follow your page, still rarely ever see your videos. So if you put something out that's, dangling the carrot a little bit, and you say you have an announcement to make, and then all of the people in the comment section are like, oh, they're trying to guess what the announcement is. Are they pregnant? Are they moving house? Are they done this, that? And then we do the announcement in the next video. 4 videos later, so 5-6 days later, you're getting comments going, so what's the announcement? I need to know the announcement right now. We'll go 4 videos back if you actually follow us, and you'll see what the announcement is, and we won't have to keep replying to people and telling them.
The funniest is, oh, he's a single dad. And you have me on the video beforehand.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Do you have a girlfriend? Or, I've been watching your lives, and someone commented under your video once
Being like,
something about that, about us.
Oh, do you date Filipinos or something?
What?
You said that the other day, and you were like, I'm sitting next to my missus.
I'm literally sat next to you in a live video.
Fiji. It was Fiji.
Oh, Fijian. And you asked me what Fijian was.
Sounded like a vagina. It did. I was like, is that
Fijian? Where are Fijians from, Jamie?
vagina land?
What?
To know.
Where are Fijians from, Jamie?
Fiji.
There you go.
Yeah, I knew that, but I mean, that's my mind went to that.
So my TikTok turn off for this week
You
is...
have one?
Yeah,
I
of
thought
course
you
I
already
have.
had one.
I always have TikTok turn-offs.
Okay.
Wakey wines. Now, for those of you who are maybe unfamiliar...
You mean naked
with
wines?
Wakey wines. You're about to learn something. So, Logan Paul and KSI, as we all know, have joined forces to create a drinks brand, which is like a electrolytes sports drink. Let's just say a sports drinks brand. And it's called Prime. And it's become very popular, especially with kids. Logan Paul and KSI have huge followings amongst anyone who's basically under the age of 18 knows who they are. So Prime became really exclusive. In Asda, it was selling out in seconds. So this guy who can access Prime somehow sells it at his shop called Wakey Wines. He sells it for £100 a bottle. And it's supposed to retail for £2 a bottle.
That markup is a joke.
And he actually sells it at £100
And people
a
actually
bottle.
buy that.
He films it when someone comes in and buys one. And he does this really annoying thing with his cameraman. I don't even want to repeat it because people are going to go and watch it. But anyway, he's blown up on social media because of it. He's basically the only person in the UK that can get hold of it regularly. But he just sells it at an absurd markup, and he's basically made a name for himself. And what irritates me is a lot of my family live in Wakefield, so I can only imagine how much they roll their eyes at this fucking Wakey Wines guy. Pound in the jar. So yeah, sweet shops on TikTok and Wakey Wines. I'm kind of getting a bit over it now. People that sell sweets on TikTok as well.
Yeah.
On the TikTok
I don't
shop.
get that prime drink at all.
I mean, if you've tried it, I imagine it probably tastes quite nice. It's basically like the flat Lucozade.
I didn't even realise it existed until Mish turned around, our family friend, and he was like, guess what I've got? I've got a prime. And I went,
did he actually get
What's
one?
that? Yeah, he's
it's
got
really
one.
difficult to get. It's now the official sponsor of UFC, which is nuts. Now, Jamie, we have been very privy and very, I would say, fortunate over the past week, literally just 1 week, for the amount of stuff that's been released in terms of series, in terms of movies, and stuff that we've been able to go and see and watch. Now, you explain one and I'll go on the other one and see if we can just bounce off each other. The stuff that we watched in the past week.
Okay, so series 3 has just come out
Of.
You.
And we watched the first half of it, which the only half of the season is out, and we watched the first half
What's
of the
his
season.
name? Something Penn.
Badgley.
He used to be the lead character in Gossip Girl. And, okay, all of you people listening right now going, ew, like, that's really girly. I mean, I know you're not going to say it like that. But it's such a great series. To the point, like, every episode you're like, man, you're good. Whoever directs it, you are good. It's a little bit like Handmaid's Tale, don't you think? Finishes like with a cliffhanger.
When you're explaining, you're like, it's so good. And the director is so... Oh my God. Anyway, You is good, isn't it? And we had a good time watching it. It's based in London, so we're excited about that. We saw sights and things like that.
But then we did try another series actually after we finished that. But was like, okay, we're gonna try a new one, and it's called The Last One or something.
The Last of Us, based on a video game, one of the best video games ever made. I obviously was like, Jamie, we have to watch this. 10 minutes into the first episode, something bad. If you've played the game, you know what I'm talking about. But something bad happens early on in the game.
I made him turn it off.
She's like virtually in tears. Like, I can't watch this. You have to turn this off.
But you know, it's so weird. I've just done a whole series of Penn, like, murdering loads of people, and I'm fine with that. And then we watch this, and somebody murders someone, and I'm like, oh, turn it off. I think it's because it involves a child.
Yeah, anything to do with children. She's like, I'm a mother now. You got to turn it off. You got to turn it off right now.
I can't feel it. It's just, honestly, I had to stop. And he's like, oh, God, you're so dramatic. It actually seemed quite like a good show. So I would like to continue
we want to continue it, but I need to skip that bit. So we need to skip about 2 minutes.
So on the next one will be an update on how that's going for us, because we really do need to, like, finish it. But,
And the main event of this particular segment of the show has got to be that last night we were invited to the premiere of Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania.
How cool!
So cool, and we had a great old time. We had a massive argument in the day before we left, but we'll get to that a little bit later on. And you, towards the end of the day, was like, you said, I'm pretty premenstrual.
I did.
I was like, no shit, Sherlock!
What was I upset about on the train then after the whole
Well,
bit?
it's a crisp debacle, but we'll talk about that a little bit later on in the show. So,
Oh, yeah, he
Ant-Man and the
called
Wasp:
me.
Quantumania,
Yeah.
actually, is pretty good. What did you think of it? Don't give any spoilers away. Did you think the villain was good, yes or no?
He was all right.
Did you think the setting was good, yes or no?
Yes.
Did you think the characters were good, yes or no? Like the new ones that were introduced?
Yeah, the only thing I will say is it's quite messy.
Yeah, I think that you'll kind of see what we're talking about if you go and watch it. The last 20 minutes of the film is a bit of a shit show.
And I did have a little bit of questions like, oh, hang on a sec, where have you been the last 5 minutes? Or I felt like there were gaps in the movie that could have been filled a little bit better.
But the cool thing is that we got to see Paul Rudd and the rest of the cast. They were all there. Jonathan Majors, who plays Kang, he was there. He's a freaking unit.
One quick question I did have about it, and we can mention it here. Obviously, if you've watched Marvel, you'll know they always talk about the quantum realm, and it's all based around the quantum realm. She's sitting on the dinner table at the beginning and being like, I want to show Dad what we've been doing. And all of them, all her family, know what's going on. They go downstairs and then she like reveals it. And then the mum's like, wait, you're sending signal? Turn it off. Turn it off.
Yeah.
Right?
I said
But
no
I was
spoilers.
under the impression, but I was under the impression that she knew what she was doing because she was like, can we tell Dad? So that was like a bit of a
No, I
question.
think it was her and Michael Douglas were the ones that have been talking about it. Because then Michael Douglas addresses that later on with Michelle Pfeiffer.
Ah.
Anyway, the film was pretty good. The premiere was fun. I grabbed Jamie's tit on the purple carpet, as it was, and there's a very funny picture on Instagram of the post reaction of me grabbing Jamie's boob on the purple carpet.
But you know what? It's so weird because we're doing a week in the life at the moment with our YouTube, and it's really hard to record action shots.
Yeah.
That's quite like, oh, hang on, let me remind myself to get the camera out and film things. So you do miss gaps. You do have gaps in the week in the lives, don't you? Naturally.
Yeah.
So that was the only annoying thing about doing little YouTubes. Like we didn't film any of the red carpet. We should all...
No, I don't think we could have.
kind
I think
of
if we got a
ushered
camera
quickly.
out, they would have gone, put it away, because we have
But
professional
you have your
photographers around.
phone.
Yeah,
People have their phone.
but then I don't know if you saw anyone walking down the red carpet selfie videoing.
Yeah, I saw a few.
Did you?
Yeah.
And touching on the entertainment side of things, I'm still playing Harry Potter Legacy. It's amazing, but I have a kid and I have a Jamie, so it's very difficult to stay on top of things and to keep playing the games. I'm slowly but surely nudging along. I probably won't complete it for another 6 months.
Yeah.
But it's fantastic. I'm going to play a little bit more tonight because you're not here. I get to play when Jamie's not here because I play for half an hour and then she's like, I need to be fed and I have no company.
Guys, I do actually feed myself, but I feed myself oatcakes
Okay.
because I like snacking.
Okay.
Yeah.